So hello everyone, my name is Jason. I'm a channeler and a Course in Miracles student. And today I'd like to just talk about a few things and then channel a little bit. So the first thing, before I begin, I wrote 2 books, and if you're interested in the books, please check below. One of them is about dragons, and the other one is a singing guide from the Hathors. And also, please join the mailing list so I can update you on when we're having a live channeling. Okay, so now the first thing I want to talk about is in a previous 2 videos ago, I think I was talking about manifestation and how I was introduced to it before, and then when the Secret book came out in, I think it was 2005 or 2006, I was just obsessed with it, and I bought it on audio, and I would just listen to it incessantly, this was, I think, when the concept of the law of manifestation was introduced into our mass consciousness. I think it's been around forever, right? Probably since the beginning of time. But I guess in our civilization that we know now, this is the first time I think that it's become that big. As far as my knowledge is concerned. And then recently I was informed that she came out with another book called The Greatest Secret, which is kind of expanding on the idea. So it's not just the law of manifestation, but the law of one as well. So maybe I'll just channel a little bit about that, the manifestation again, if there's anything more they want to talk about that. Okay, let's do that. Greetings, we are Esmerelda, and we are, as many of you might know, we are a mermaid that exists in a higher dimension on your Earth, and we also exist on another planet, as most of you do. Most of you have many, many different lives and different starseed locations. And so we come in today to talk about this concept of manifestation, which is a very, very important concept on your planet, and as many of you might know, will be becoming more and more important, and because you'll become more and more aware of it. Up until this point, you have been manifesting in a somewhat unconscious manner. You have been given images, and you have been projecting those images out. But the more and more you become aware of your power to create, the more and more you become aware that you don't want those images that you're creating. So sometimes the images of your movies, a lot of the Hollywood films, a lot of your are creating images that some faction of society would like to be created. And so these images, when you see them and you accept them without thinking, a lot of the times with these images, they are programmed with the music and with the beautiful, beautiful colors to surpass your conscious mind, and they go directly into your unconscious mind because you're watching, because it puts you in a state of trance. And once you're in a state of trance, then all of these images and all of these things go directly into your subconscious mind. And this is what's happening. And so once they become your unconscious mind, you think that they are yours, and you project them out, and you create the world that was projected towards you. And this is what you have been working under for the longest time. And the movies are just one example of it. The other example is just what you are trained in school as to what a good person should be, and what an upstanding citizen should do, and all of these types of things. So this is all just, these are things that are helping you to create within a box. So you don't realize how much power you truly have, that you could create whatever you'd like. You could create whatever you'd like, whatever life you'd like to create. And that is your true power. And that is what you have. And that is what you are realizing. And that is what is happening on your planet. And so it is time for everyone on your planet to start to open up to this concept and this idea that you are free to create, and the power of your creations. If once you realize that everything that you see around you, you have created everything. You've created all of this. All of these things that you see, you have created them. and that you can also uncreate them. You can create anew. You can create what you really want to see. So whenever you look outside of yourself and you see things that you don't want, realize that you can just recreate, just create. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was music. For me, music has always been a sort of therapy. It has always helped me through the roughest times of my life. And I sometimes wonder what I would have done without it. And so music is, for example, when you feel like when you're in a very, very bad place, when you're in a very sad place, a very lonely place, a very dark place, and you can write a song about that, and that song will transmute, that'll take all that dark time that you felt, and it will transmute it and raise it to a new level, and it will take all of that loneliness out of it. And I think that is the true power of writing songs. And for example, even a string quartet could come out of that, or an orchestral piece could come out of it. But that's the power of creating, power of creation. And that this power of creation is very, very connected to spirit. And so I often recommend for people to have a spiritual practice of some sort, of any kind. Anything is fine. And I think I recommend, if you're not super interested in meditation or into maybe spiritual things, that picking up an instrument is really great, because I mean, for example, for the piano for me is just, I mean, it's kept me alive for the longest time. The guitar as well, music, it just but some of you might be artists, might be painters, comedians, whatever it is, however you express yourself. This is also, I think, a very spiritual practice. And yes, they are able to, it's a light working technique, doing art. Art is light working. You are taking the everyday, sometimes mundane things, sometimes sad things, and you are making them into something that is divine, and something that is universal, and something that everyone can connect with. And yeah, so yeah, that's all. That was my spiel about it, but I think it's wonderful, and I recommend it to anyone who's suffering. Pick up an instrument or learn how to draw. It's just, because it's always there for you. And for example, the instrument, I mean, buying the instrument, you might cost some money, but once you learn it, then it's there for you forever. Or even learn how to sing, right? So yeah, that's my recommendation. If you're not, if you are not inclined towards kind of a meditation practice, I think for me, practicing music is very much a meditation. And it just puts you in a new state, and it softens all of the edges of your heart. In Japanese they call it, what is it, togatteru. So like sometimes your heart, like if you had a rough day, your heart is kind of like, it's got all these like rough ridges, and the music will kind of just soften all of that and just massage it into a nice soft shape, I guess. That's my spiel. So I'd like to channel about that and see if they have anything else to add. We are the Hathors, and yes, music is a very, very powerful thing, and it is becoming on your planet more and more of a powerful thing. Now, for us on higher dimensions, we understand the true power of music. Music is vibration. Vibration is light. Light is love. This is source energy. It is just a different perspective on source energy. Music is source energy, stepped down into your frequency. The music that we hear, the music that we use in our dimension, is quite different from what you hear it is, you might say, it's just listening to the tip of the iceberg, what you hear here, and we can hear the rest of it. We can hear the rest of the whole frequency. But part of your ascension process is realizing the power of frequency and the power of sound, and thus the power of music to change and to create. You will be learning more and more as your frequency rises more and more, how to utilize frequencies in order to create and frequencies in order to heal. And you will see that frequency is much, much more powerful than you can ever imagine. And then you will also begin to understand how the frequencies have been at times used to keep you in the box that was mentioned before. Sometimes it is the frequencies that are used can create a certain box around you. You are surrounded by frequencies in your cities and your towns you're bombarded with frequencies from all kinds of different devices. And all of these frequencies are programmed to create you might say, not such a high dimension, but a high frequency. But you are all ascending, and so you are realizing your frequency, which is the frequency of God. And so more and more those frequencies are finding it difficult to reach you and finding it difficult to keep you in that box, because you're just growing more and more and more and more out of that box. And you'll soon realize how much power these frequencies do have to change everything, because they do. And as this being suggested, yes, so a wonderful thing for all of you to start doing is to start opening your heart to the frequencies. And not just the frequencies of the music, but the frequencies of creativity, because the creativity is your expression of source energy, your freedom. Your creativity cannot be controlled. It cannot be put in the box. And that's why for the longest time it has been stifled. Most of your education system is all about stifling that creativity so that you do not come out of that box. And so you are not free. But once you start to create, you realize how free you are. And so that is the beauty of, for example, picking up an instrument or picking up a paintbrush, learning how to sing, because it is teaching you your true freedom, and it is connecting you with source energy. So yes, it is a very powerful thing. Okay. Oh, the lighting in here is crazy. Okay, so yeah, those were my two questions, and then I guess what I'll do is I'll just end with see if they have anything else to add. One thing I wanted to add is that there's a movie that just came out. I'm sure a lot of you know about, and it exposes a lot of things that have been going on our planet probably for a very, very long time. And I know this movie is in the theaters now, and it has been beating out a blockbuster franchise film that has been going on for a long time. So you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But since this film has come out, I've been finding myself not being able to sleep at night. I haven't seen the film, but I am aware of what was in the film, and aware of all of this whole situation from the past 4 or 5 years, as everything that was hidden is becoming more and more revealed. But I sensed that what it was is that a lot of people were realizing what was happening, that what's really been going on. And it's just that sense of shock that, when you finally realize, like, oh my God, this I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I was asleep to this for so long. And so anyway, so I've been losing sleep over it, not worrying about it, but just I can't sleep. And so anyway, I'd like to channel my guides and just to if they could shine some light on this whole concept. So here we go. We are Isis, and we are here, and we are here, and we are here, and we are here, and we are there, and we are here, and we are over there, and we are here. And we are Isis, and we are here to tell you that there is nothing to worry about. Everything, everything, and we mean everything, is going in the most perfect way possible. But we understand that as these things are changing and as the old world is shifting and things that have lower frequencies are not able to sustain in this higher frequency, these things will slowly start to become revealed, because the shadows that have been holding them cannot sustain the light that is shining on your planet at the moment. And so once all of the light shines on the shadows, all of the things that have been using the shadows as their power will not be able to use the shadows as their power anymore. And they, in the shadows, know this, and they understand that once the light is shown on the shadows, that they would lose their power. And so we would say, in a sense, this is a last-ditch effort for them to try to lower the frequency. It's a last-ditch effort, and unfortunately and fortunately it will fail, because the light is shining already, and there is no way for this to change. The light has already won. The light has already won. And this, what you are seeing, is, in a sense, a replay of something that has been gone on for many, many, many lifetimes. And you are able to experience this on a second-to-second basis, so that you can truly understand it, so that this becomes a part of your arsenal, you might say, your spiritual arsenal, so that when you are a guide, when you are on these other planets, when you are acting as your true human self in this next dimension, in this next frequency that you are rising to, you will be the guides. You will be the guides for the universe, and you will be traveling to many, many different planets, and you will be using this information that you have been learning here on how all of these things work, and how the dark is hidden, and how the shadows work, and how the light works. And so you will be using that information in order to guide people and to guide other beings through this process that you are going through at this moment. This is a very, very serious learning process that you are going through. The serious part is just that it is a learning process. There's nothing to fear, because it has already happened and you're already at the end. But this is you just learning from a second-to-second basis, using time as your ally, using time to slow everything down so you can experience it in this 3D time, so that you can truly experience every single second, so that it becomes more and more a part of you, so you really understand how the shadows work, how the light works, how this idea of polarity works on this third dimension, so that you can guide many, many other people. And this is what is happening. This is what is happening for all of you. And so there is nothing to fear, but understand that this is a growing process for all of you. And a lot of you are starting to feel this, because in the mass consciousness, a lot of things are starting to be revealed. And as they are revealed, there is a bit of shock, of course. There is a bit of shock, and that shock can send shock waves through the mass consciousness. And beings such as the one before you, and most of you who are watching this video at this moment, are there in the mass consciousness. You are the lighthouses and the peacekeepers to keep these shock waves from getting too big. You are there to keep the peace. You are there to ride these waves and keep the peace, because you already know that the light is already won. And so you are there just to keep the peace and to ride the waves and pull those who have fallen off of their surfboards and put them back up on their surfboards and let them go again on another wave. And that is what you're doing now, and it is a wonderful time. It is a wonderful time for all of you on your planet, and we congratulate you on all that you have done, all of this amazing work that you have done so far. It is truly amazing, and it is truly amazing what you are going into next. And so if you could see the future, if you could see what we see for all of you, all of the hope and all of these beautiful vistas, all of these wonderful experiences that are opening up for all of you, if you could just see this, you would be filled with so much hope. You would be filled with so much hope. Know this, Know this, that you are not alone, and know this, that you are amazing workers of light, and that you are creating this. You are doing this. You are helping this. You are part of one of the most historical things that have ever happened in your whole universe. You, right? Yes, you. You are part of it, and you're creating it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are Isis, and we are sending you love and peace, and we know the spiritual warriors that you are. You are so wonderful, you're so loved and so wonderful, and keep up the amazing, amazing work that all of you are doing. We are Isis. All right, so it's turning into nighttime here, so the light is really changing. Before I go, thanks everyone for listening, and